In a wildlife sanctuary, on the edge of a small town in Thailand, there lived an elephant named Thong, a bull elephant, 41 years old, large even by elephant standards, and known to the sanctuary staff as one of the more solitary animals in their care. He had come to the sanctuary after years of difficult history, logging work, loss, the specific withdrawal of an animal that has learned that the world is not reliably safe. He tolerated the keepers. He did not seek them out. He lived in the polite, closed way of something that has decided that closeness costs more than it is worth. The sanctuary staff did their work with care and professionalism. They fed Thong. They monitored his health. They gave him space because space was what he had communicated he needed, and they had the experience to listen. But they noticed, over the years, that he did not play. He did not vocalize except when necessary. He ate what he was given and stood where he chose to stand. He was alive and cared for, and completely, specifically alone. A boy named Lek arrived at the sanctuary when he was 6 years old. His mother had taken a position as a cook in the sanctuary's small staff kitchen, which meant Lek came with her every morning during school holidays and sat where he was told to sit and watched everything that moved with the specific total attention of a child who has not yet been taught to find the world ordinary. On the first morning, Thong was visible from the kitchen window. Lek pressed his face to the glass and looked at the elephant for 20 minutes without moving. A keeper brought Lek to see Thong properly on the third day, under full supervision and from a safe distance. What the keeper noted afterward was what did not happen. Thong did not withdraw. He did not turn away in the specific indifference he showed to most human visitors. He stood and watched the small boy with the same total attention the small boy was giving him, and neither of them moved for a very long time. Lek began talking to Thong. Not because anyone told him to, because he was 6, and he talked to everything that seemed worth talking to, and Thong seemed very much worth talking to. He sat on the ground a careful distance away and described things. What he had eaten for breakfast, what he had seen on the drive to the sanctuary. A story about a dog he had known once that had 3 legs. Thong stood and listened with the specific stillness of something that has decided to pay attention. On the 7th day, Thong extended his trunk and touched Lek's outstretched hand. The keeper, who was present, said it was the first time in 4 years of observation that Thong had voluntarily initiated physical contact with a human being. Lek did not move. He let the trunk rest against his palm and looked at Thong with the expression of a 6-year-old receiving the most important thing that had ever been offered to him. Over the following weeks, the sanctuary staff noticed changes in Thong that they had not seen in years. He began moving to the area closest to the kitchen in the mornings, before Lek appeared, as though he was positioning himself in advance. He began vocalizing when the kitchen door opened. He had learned the sound of Lek's footsteps, the way Lek had learned which part of Thong's face told you whether the elephant was happy or thinking about something. They played. This was the word the keepers used and kept using because it was the only accurate word. They played with the specific mutual delight of 2 creatures who had found in each other something they had each been missing without knowing it had a name. Thong splashed water with his trunk. Lek splashed back with his hands. The disproportion of this made the keepers laugh. The elephant and the boy did not notice the disproportion at all. But the keepers said it was not the playing that stayed with them the most. It was the stillness. The times when Lek simply sat against Thong's leg in the late afternoon, both of them quiet, both of them looking at nothing in particular. Two creatures of almost incomprehensible size difference, resting in each other's company, the way you rest in the company of something that does not require you to be anything other than what you already are. When the school holiday ended, and Lek could no longer come every day, the keepers noticed the change in Thong again. Not the dramatic withdrawal of his earlier years. He did not close entirely the way he had before. But there was a specific quality of waiting in him that had not been there before Lek. He stood near the kitchen area in the mornings. At the time Lek used to arrive, he did this every morning for 3 weeks, before adjusting gradually to the changed schedule. When the next school holiday came and Lek returned, Thong heard his footsteps from across the sanctuary and was already moving toward him before Lek was close enough to be seen. The boy ran. The elephant came. They met in the middle of the open ground, the way things meet when the meeting has been waited for. Without ceremony, without announcement, simply and completely. The sanctuary staff said that what Lek and Thong had taught them was not something that could be filed in a professional report. Monkey, come here. It was something quieter than that. The specific knowledge that the largest animal in their care and the smallest visitor in their history had found in each other exactly what the other was missing. And that sometimes the most improbable friendship is the most true one. And that 6 years old and 41 years old and 6 tons and 30 kilograms can share an afternoon in complete and equal joy if neither of them is told they shouldn't